Good morning, everyone, and welcome to my coloring corner. We are still working on this one. Bob finally was able to get the modem stuff in, so hopefully, we don't have internet problems today. So good morning, Kathleen. Lurk away, darling. Good morning, Alex. Good morning, Nightbot. Good morning, everyone out there in Lurker land. So we did get the top of the palm trees done. That was about it on Sunday. So we're going to zoom on in. We're going to get this one finished today and maybe move on to something else as well. We will see how the day turns out. Hello, Yana. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're feeling well, darling. All right, so I'm just going to zoom into that point because I'm going to be finishing that center area. We're going to do the palm trees tree part, and we're going to start with Cocoa Brown. Hello, Noelle. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Just going to jump right on in. I'll say hello as people come in. If I miss you, I do apologize. I felt really bad because we missed so much on Sunday because of the internet. But I apologize in my job all day long, every day. So I feel like a broken record when I do it at home too. So I just didn't want to sit here and apologize all day for losing connection. So and you guys don't want to hear it all day, so. Alright. And then the next color we're going to use is Ash Rose, which is E380. The Cocoa Brown is E400. Yeah, internet issues irritate me. I know they happen, but really, do they have to happen while I'm streaming? Can they just not? That's what I would prefer. Alright. And we're going to do the same thing on this one. Yeah. Well, it's probably humid there too. It's just, I haven't drawn sweat dripping off her brow. When I see you guys' weather out there, it makes me glad we're not moving. But I really wanted to move closer to, where Bob could get promoted and stuff. But it's just not happening on our budget. So if the company ain't paying for it, we ain't doing it. Excuse me. Using the same two markers for all the trees. Starting off with the E400, which is Cocoa Brown, and then blending and finishing off the highlight with the lighter color. Like I said before, the one thing I like about Kevin Teo's books is they take alcohol marker very well. The marker does not bleed outside of the lines. It stays where it's supposed to be, which is awesome. Hello, aviation fan. Welcome, welcome. I missed a spot. And the parts for the internet didn't come in until after dinner yesterday, so there was no point in finishing this off yesterday. Yes, I am using the Honolulu B series. So I'm using the bullet brush series. Alright, so that is the trees. Now we're going to move down. I'm going to actually zoom you in a little bit further. And we're going to move it down so that we can get into that water area there. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Oh, that sounds awesome. Alright, so we're going to start with G324, which is aqua blue. Try to find a book that has really smooth paper. If it almost feels too smooth and almost plasticky, that is the best paper to try them in. And this one here is Horizon Green, which is G340. You are not annoying aviation, you're fine. Alright, now we're going to do the rocks. And I want to do them warm gray 05 and a little bit of that beige green and a cooler gray for blend. What's that one? It's too dark. And we'll use a cooler gray. So let's try neutral gray 2. So that is CG02. Yeah, that's a good one. Alright, so we're going to start off with the beige first. No, we're going to start off with the warm gray first. Hurry back. In our shadowy areas. And I'm using the bullet for this because it's really small. Yeah, I'm just following the contours and the lines of the stones there. Ohuhu sent me a questionnaire, um, and one of the outcomes of the questionnaire is actually 5 people are being chosen to receive the 320 set of these markers. So if you have received that in your email, you might want to fill it out. You might actually, you know, get a full 320 set of these markers. I filled it out because I fill out everything Ohuhu sends me. So, all right. So there is the um, warm gray. Now we're going to go in with the beige green. We're going to use more of the brush for this one. And in random places, we're going to put a little bit of moss and a little bit of that green. On the stones. Because why not, right? And then we'll come through and we'll blend it with the cool gray. So this is neutral gray 02, which is CG020. Just going over all the rocks. Like I said, we're going to get this done today and then we're going to move on to something else as well. I just wanted to really get this done. It should have been done like a week ago. And what would you guys like to move on to after we're done with this one? Another Kevin Teo, a different artist, same markers. What would you like to do? Kind of want to stick with markers this month. But I'm a little sad because one of my favorite skin tone markers for summer skin tones is gone kaput. So we might have to change that up a little. All right, now for the greenery, we're going to start off with G270, which is moss green. Yeah. All right. just going to put the shadow in. Oh, I missed that tree. Hello, Bella. Hello, Mona. I am so sorry I missed you coming in. Hello, Mona. And hello, anybody else that I missed coming in with my head down, concentrating on getting this done. Alright, I'm trying to avoid the flowers, but they're so small. I'm having a hard time avoiding them. But we'll maybe go over them with something that will bypass the alcohol marker, like gel pens. I know it's fine, it just breaks my heart when I do it to you. I love it when Mona comes visits. Now we're going to use G170, which is May Green. And I'm going to try really hard to avoid the flowers. Like this one down here I got. And there's one right up in there that's going to get got. And back there I want to go in with the May Green, but I want to come in also with a little bit of the brighter green on the edges for the sun coming through. Thank you, Yana. Yeah, Kevin did a fantastic job of drawing it. I am making kind of a mess of it, but he's done so well drawing it, I can, pretty much fake it at this point. Just saying. Now, I did get a new book delivered to me. And I do want to say thank you to whoever sent the Happy Mail because there was no name on it. I do believe I know who it was. So, Miss Catherine, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. And maybe we'll do a page out of there. Because I haven't had a chance to look at it yet in full detail. I have perused it, but I haven't really examined it. And it fits the time of year, so it's a seasons book. So, alright, just going to add that little bit of lighter green up in here. Like so. And we're going to take our gel pens and we're going to add some pinks. Let's do a nice bright pinky red for the flowers. Again, these are the Tan Mint gel pens. And I'm just going to completely add them because these are so tiny. I just want them to look a different color than the green. So we're not going to get too detailed in them, especially in this area here. But we are going to get them colored so that they're not looking the same as the greenery. Like I said, these little tiny areas, there was no way to avoid going over them, so we'll put them back in. Hello, Kim. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you. Yes, Happy Mail is the best. And we've got a little plant here. And a little plant here. Now with the little plant, I'm going to take the green gel pen. Where's my list? There it is. I want glitter olive, no, glitter grass green. So I want maybe that one there. Yeah. For that and for that. There we go. All right, so that is that part done. Now we're going to do the sky. Now what did I do with the sky colors that I pulled? There they are. All right. Nope, those are not the right ones. Where did I put them? Did I not pull them out? Don't mind me, I'm talking to myself at the moment. Alright, maybe I didn't pull them. Alright, so we're going to do the sky in B220. Okay. I obviously did pull it out, I just don't know where I put it. I've lost my pens, people, it's okay. Oh, there it is, okay. Okay, so B220 and B120. Thank you, Kim. So we're going to use 120 first at the ground level. So down through here. When doing backgrounds, don't stop. Keep going. You don't want to stop and get those lines. Now on regular paper, those lines are something that will happen quite quickly if you do stop and don't continually keep that edge wet. When you're doing large areas. Smaller areas, it's no big deal, but large areas, it's a little bit harder to blend it out. Okay, so we're just going to come up to about that level with this blue. So we're going to come in through here. We're going to stop at the corner of her glasses there. So let's do the smaller areas first. All right, and this one here. Okay. Now this is the area here that you're going to start seeing where we're going to blend, because we're going to go from this darker color to the lighter color up in this area here. Okay. Now we're going to take the B220, wrong one, in the brush. Yeah, I like my hoo-hoos. I couldn't bring myself to buy the Copic in the styles that I wanted. I wanted the Copic brush, but they're so expensive, and I don't use markers enough to justify that. Like colored pencils, I will buy expensive colored pencils because I use colored pencils. I use expensive colored pencils. Where with markers, I don't use them enough to justify purchasing something extremely expensive, especially when something in a lower price range works just as well if not better than. I've watched so many different content creators that compare the Ohuhus with the Copegs and say that they're on par, if not better than, the more expensive Copegs. So I'll just stick with the Ohuhus. I'm perfectly fine with that. Hello, Kenny. How are you doing, darling? I hope you are well. Thank you for coming and hanging out. Oh, awesome. Yeah, Bob had to redo our network because my networking equipment that I had in my office wasn't working properly, and that was what was causing the internet outages on my computer. So we didn't have any internet in my office all week. Every time I tried to log in, it kicked me out. It's like, okay, well, you're a brat, and I don't like you anymore. So he got some new internet networking stuff yesterday and last night and redid my internet network for my office. Yeah, I don't know. That must have been a power surge or something that decided to cause it some issues. I was a little bit upset at the end of a stream on Saturday because I tried to go looking for the one thing I don't like about Ohuhus, and it's just a not a quality thing, it's a quantity thing. Um, they don't have all of the markers and all of the colors for refill or open stock. So the marker that I normally use for skin tone is not available in open stock um, with Ohuhu, which kind of bugs me. It's one of the few things that does bug me, so I'm going to have to see what set that is in and buy the whole set. Hopefully it's not the 320 set, because if it is, I'm just going to be without that marker. I'm not buying another 320 set for one marker. But that's fine. There are other markers that are close to it. It's just one of my favorites. It works great for blending and gives that soft color to the blend. Thank you, Kenny. hoping, okay, good. I was going to say, I'm hoping that that is just on the paper behind it and it doesn't get picked up into my sky. All right. So I'm going to zoom it out because I've got it way in. We're going to let that dry. We're going to make that dry. So that you can see it. There we go. So that is Kevin Teo Art, Sunshine Girl. We've used Ohuhu markers and Tammet gel pens. Did use a little tiny bit of Artex 120 student grade colored pencils. Yeah, that's what I was thinking is maybe I'd go down to the I have a art store here. I might take it down and see if they can match it. Because they've got a couple of different ones. They've got the Uno or whatever it is, the Artex, um, the they've got a bunch of different ones, including the Ohuhus and the Copics. So, all right, so she is done, and Catherine has arrived. Hello, Catherine. So we are going to color in the book that she sent me from Rita Berman. It's Hidden Seasons Coloring Book. I am pretty sure that she sent it to me. Now, the one thing that I don't like about these books, and we might not color in here because of it, is they're double-sided. So I'd really have to hate the page on the other side to use markers in here. So we're not going to do that. I don't hate any of the pages that much, so we're not going to do that. I like the book. I don't want to completely ruin it. So let's check out another artist and see what we can do. What can we do? What can we do? All right. Da, 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 da. So it's another one that goes really well with markers. There's certain ones that I really like using markers with, but there are also certain ones I really don't like using markers with because they're extremely detailed, and I like using the colored pencils for those details. And their paper is terrible for it. So let's take a look at, because that's one that I do like using it with. What's this one? Is this the one I was looking for? Yeah. So this is a new book that I have received by R.J. Hampson, Lost in Time coloring book. Yeah, yeah, I guess Briar Hill might work for it. Let me take a look. Hold on a sec. Let me find Briar Hill. Briar. Because, yeah, it's got that thicker paper in it. Let me grab that. Yeah, this one's a good one, too. Okay, so let's use Briar Hill. All right. So this book here has some really great thick paper, and it works well with markers. So we'll color something in here. Is it good? Is it bad, Catherine, that I knew exactly what book you were talking about? Hello, Nappin. So with Briar Hill, because Briar Hill is a larger book, I'm going to have to remember to move the page. Yes, I know you sent it, but you send me lots of books, but as soon as you said Briar Hill, I knew exactly what book it was. All right, let's do something small. We've got a short period of time. I did the frog in there. Just trying to find a good one that would work well with markers and just markers. So. I think this one here is going to be our best bet with just the markers, and it's small enough that I can put the paper behind it and not have to move it a whole lot. So that will work out well. All right. Okay. Yeah. Yes, I do color in here off stream. So I colored this one. I was working on my gem coloring on that one. All right, so oh, I'm sorry, Yana. All right, so we're going to start with his coat. Now this is more of an autumn picture, almost into a winter picture. There's some snow on the branches here. He's got jingle bells, and so we're going to work more in that fall theme just as the winter's coming in. The leaves are just starting to turn color. So that's what we're going to work on for him. We're going to color his outfit in those fall colors, a nice reds, oranges, yellows, greens, brown colors. So let's start with his jacket here. We're going to start that in, I want to do it in a brown, but I want to do it more of a yellow brown. So I'm going to start with the YR1. Yeah, YR1, or no, let's do YR2. YR1 or YR2, let's see. Just have to locate it. There's YR2, YR1's already down here. So let's start here. Starting with the bullet nib with the YR2, no, YR1, and then we'll come in with the YR2 and see if we need to darken it up a little bit more. And we're just following the contours, the shadows that the artist has put in there. Would help if I zoomed in, huh? I'll zoom in just for you all. Here we go. Only if you guys want to see me coloring. And if we don't get this one finished today, we'll finish it tomorrow. But I really wanted to get that Kevin Teo done because, you know, I had started it and I don't like leaving things unfinished because then I forget about them and I find them weeks later going, oh, I should have finished that. Now, that is part of this jacket. Just got to make sure that I get all the right parts of the clothing because he's wearing an shirt, the coat, as well as a scarf. Um, so I want to make sure that the parts that I'm coloring with this color all go to the same piece of clothing. Because I don't want, you know, one part of another piece of clothing having his coat color on it. You know what I mean? So, all right. All right, then we're going to use this one here, which is YR2. If I can get it open. There we go. It's got a little bit more of that orange color in it, which is good because that's what I want. And you'll see why in just a moment here. Now the one thing about this artist and the way they draw is their drawings, even though they have that definition, that lining in it, that tells you where you want to put things. It is a lot more sketchy. So when you're using markers, it's a little bit fun to follow their sketch lines and just enhance it into that color combination. Hello, butterflies. Yep. He is a forest nymph. Now I don't mind this part here being done with that little bit of brown there because I'm going to be using that on that when I add that golden yellow color. Because I'm going to do that in that golden coloring. I might even add a bit of gel pen just to give it a bit of sparkle on there. Same with this piece here. I'm going to do that in that yellow. Just to give it that little embellishment. now we're going to use YR170. And I'm going to use the brush nib this time. Now this is a lot brighter than it's going to look when it's dry. But I wanted his coat to have that orangey fall leaf look. And we'll add to it with the browns, purples, and yellows, reds. It gives a good layer for those colors. Greens, all of those colors that work well with orange and brown. And I'm using this bullet or brush nib so that I can blend all those colors together. As well as put in the highlights. Okay, like so. And I'm going to zoom out just a little bit because I'm ending up going off screen. Alright, now we're going to do his little thing on the back there, and we're going to use dull yellow first. And then we're going to use Y1, which is pastel yellow. I'm going to blend it into that shadow yellow. Soften that edge. And we're going to do the same thing here, like that. Alright, and then we're going to do the buttons we'll do with the gel pen. His pants we're going to do, now leprechauns are odd. Their pants and their shoes are all one, so it just kind of creeps me out. So we're going to do his pants in browns. So we're going to do E490 and E220. Okay. And then 320. I think we already have 320 out. Yes, we do. Nope, that's 280. Um, 380. 280. I hate it when I'm missing things. E03, 120, 130. And 220. Okay, I can't find my E220, which is going to drive me crazy. It should be right in front of my face. 10. Yeah, the 220 is already out here somewhere. I just got to find it. 400, 280, 110. Maybe I dropped it on the floor. Oh, there it is, right in front of my face. I found it. I found it. All right. So we're going to start with the 490. For his pants here. Make sure we don't do his pocket watch. Hopefully I'm still connected. You guys have all gone quiet, so looks like I'm still connected, but you never know. There we go. Thank you, Cam. Hello, Orange. All right, so this is a leg. I'm not sure what that is. I'm assuming it's his other knee. What do you guys think? Do you think this is the other kneecap? That's what I'm thinking it is. Okay. It follows the right line. And then this is his foot. And then I just need a little bit darker, so let's get a little bit of a more of a red brown in here. Let's do BR2. There we go. I'm going to use a little bit of potato brown in there. Just in our really heavy shadowy areas here. Especially. Hello, Nana. Happy Saturday. then we're going to use E220. Now I'm trying to determine, I think this is part of his pants here. And I'll come back and I'll take a look and see how it looks. If it is, I will come back and fill it in. Trying to figure out where his shirt starts and where his pants start. That's the joys of some pages, is the way the artist colors it. It's fantastically colored, but you gotta start coloring it to separate where things are and what things are as you go along. Now again, this will dry lighter than it is showing up, so those other colors will show through for those shadows. And this is the book. Estate Presents and the Briar coloring book. Alright, and then we're going to take a little tiny bit of green, but I want to do more of a gray green. So let's do, which one is this one? 270. It's too green. Okay. Let's do color. What's that I was just looking at? 220. That's the color I was looking for. So a little bit of lime green. I want it to be more of a grayish. I think I'm going to do his shirt the same way. I think that's part of his pants. That's part of his shirt. Like that. This is shirt there. And then we'll take that paint color. We're going to come in with that darker color, so there's the brown potato color that I just had. There it is. And this one. So we're going to use potato. The other color that I used on his pants was E220, which is sand. So this is potato brown, BR02. We're just going to define his pants here a little bit. Hello, Bellini. Or Bellatini, sorry. Bellatini. I completely read that wrong. I do apologize. Alright. Then we want a little bit of a darker green on the shirt. So let's go with, so we've got this one, which was 220. So let's grab 240, which I think I have out here, maybe. G260. Yeah, I think it's already out. Let's see where I'll be. There it is. I am doing well. Much better since my internet started working. Bob fixed it. Because Bob's good. Well, Bob bought things to fix it. Alright. And we're just going to blend that in a little bit with this one. So. Then we're going to do the same thing on his cuff there. Yeah, I did use it on the rocks. Thank you, Alex. So this is 240, which is beige green, G240. And this one here is lime green, which is G220. Like so. Alright, now for his scarf. Let's see. Trying to go with those rustic colors for the fact that a lot of these things are created with natural colors and that sort of thing. So there's not a lot of those bright in your face colors. So I'm trying to make it a muted color tone, color palette, but still keeping those fall colors. So we're going to add some more browns, but we're going to go into a more of a red brown, I think. What do you guys think? Hello, Angela. No worries. No worries. I had a hard time waking up this morning too. Should I go with the greens on this, or should I go more with the red yellows? I think the red yellow might be bad because I've got some more oranges here. I think we're going to go with the greens because we've got the leaves here, which are going to be in those orangey brown colors. And then we've got his skin tone, which is also going to have more of those brown colors because he's a wood nymph. So he's got that wooden tone to his face. So I think the green would be good. So I think we're going to go with somewhat similar to the gray green that we've got going on here, but we're going to go a little bit more olive. Um, so let's take a look at GO. Yeah, GO6 and G030. Awesome. Yeah, it is definitely a whole day apart. It is 11:14 here, so using the celery green, which is G060 on his scarf. I want it to be a different green than his shirt, but still want that separation from the browns so that he's not completely one blob of one type of color. We might do his hat in this similar coloring as well. I think I need a little bit of a darker as well, so I'm going to grab that olive green. So we're going to grab a little bit of I think a little bit of GY8, I think. Just a little bit. What was G300? No, it's too dark. Yeah, I think GY8 would be the better one. Which is Petit Pole. Petit Pole. In other words, little p. I don't know why they put that as French. It's a pea, kind of a pea green. I'm just going to use that for a little bit more of those deeper shadows. Those deeper shadows just weren't deep enough for me. With the celery green. All right. Oh my goodness, that is way too late for you. Why were you up until after 2 in the morning? You never go to bed that late. All right, and then we're going to go back with the celery yellow and use it to blend it out in areas that need that extra little bit of blending. Soften those dark edges before we come in with the lightest highlight color. And then G030. for our highlight. G030 is crescent yellow. Alright, I kind of like that color combination. What do you guys think? Oh, nice, Alex. That sounds like fun. I think I'm going to do his hat the same way. What do you guys think? Should we do his hat more in the greens because of the colors in his face and the leaves? Nice, Alex. Okay. So we're going to start with the pea green, so GY8. And just in the darker area, especially. Now remember that's his ear, and let's not color it. Let's not color his ear green. Now it's following the lines for the hat and making sure that we're coloring parts of a hat. That is going to be a little bit more tedious here. Okay. And then we're going to come in with that celery. Hello, Della. Thank you. Yes, I am going to be using some of the blues because of the type of branches there are. I'm going to be using those blue spruce colors. Like I said, I want to try to maintain a little bit more of the muted natural tones that a wood nymph would be wearing. Unfortunately, those palettes are very bland. But they're beautiful. They're just a little bit not so bright and pretty. But you can make them pretty. All right. Ah, Nana, dog kisses, yay! Not. I am not one for dog kisses. I do not like dog kisses at all. Shyla was fantastic at giving dog kisses that I enjoyed. She would not lick me. She would rub the edge of her cheek against my cheek, and that was her kiss. And that was my favorite. It's like, I don't have to be slobbery. My dog shows affection without being slobbery. I like it. dry. All right, so that is his clothing fairly done. Now his watch we're going to do in gel pen, his little golden acorn at the end of his coat we're going to do in gel pen, same with his buttons. So let's start on his face. So I want to start off with the wind not blowing everything down. So let's start off with E490, I think. Because we're going to go in with some more browns, leather colors. So I need E460, 470. I think 490 is already out. Where is it? There it is. And I think this is a little too orange, but let's check. Just a little bit. E490 is going to be too orange. So let's go a little bit more into E240. I know that one's out as well because I just used it. I really should just put my pens back in their spots, and that way I'm not looking for them. It is, hold on a sec, I gotta zoom it out so you can see the whole thing. So it is Eastgate presents the Briar Coloring Book. Is that good? You got it? You are welcome. I'm going to zoom back in. And we're going to try to remember what I was doing on his face. Okay, so I want to do his face in those woodland colors. Same with his hand. More of the woody colors there. So let's start with, I was going to go with an E, but it looks too orange for me. So I think I'm going to go E220. Was that the one I just looked at? No. That's this one. Let's see what color that. It's a little better. All right, so we're going to start with the E220. All right. And I think I want some up here too. And on his hand. All right, so this is E220 sand. All right, and then we're going to use, so that was E220, so we're going to use E160, which I have out already because I just looked at it. There it is. And E160 is Soft Sun. And then the highlight color, so E160. We're going to go with E90, which is also out right there. Which is eggshell white. All right. That is funny. All right, then we're going to just grab a little bit of a very pale pink color that isn't quite skin tone but isn't quite pink. So RV270 is what I want there. There it is. Which is shadow pink. Just because we want his lips to be, that lip color, but we still want to have that light woody resemblance. So there we go with that. Now we're going to do his eyes. And we're going to do his eyes a pop of R2. Oh, that's way too pink. 282. No, actually, it's not too bad. I want to do his eyes kind of, let's do kind of a yellowy green color. So we're going to do them limeade for now. And then we'll come in with some pencil and do a little bit of a different color on there with it. All right, so there is his face. Now he's got a bit of hair here as well as up on his eyebrows, which is more of a leaf. However, the little bits of hair there are actual little bits of hair. So we're going to actually come in with a little bit of brown. So let's come in with a gray-brown color. So we're going to come in with E300, which is a clay color. The color is actually called clay. And we're just going to come in with that a little bit. And then we'll come in with a darker color just to put that hair color in there a little bit. And then E310, which is dark brown, just in the darker little areas there, just to make it stand out a little more, like so. All right, so there we have that, and I have a big old mess on my desk. All right, so we've got a little while longer left to go, so let's do the leaves on his face. We want to start off with, let's start with G030. So we're going to start off with a green, and then we're going to start adding those browns. And then we're going to add YR33. There it is. And this is melon yellow. And then YR170. And then we want a little tiny bit of red. So we're going to use R1. Like that. We're going to do the other side here. That is really big. Charlotte didn't like sitting on the seat. So Charlotte would hide in the floorboards or laying down. She didn't like the fact that she was moving faster than her legs could carry her. All right. Hopefully this doesn't look completely ridiculous. If it does, oh well, it's just paper. a little bit of red. Okay, I'm going to use the brown for that. This one, I think. Okay. And then we're just going to take that green and we're just going to blend it all. And then over here, we're going to go more in the yellow. And this one, I'm going to come in with more of that brown, and then we'll come in with the reds and the oranges. And then the first one that I used is the melon yellow. Then I'm going to come in with the chrome orange. And then the coral pink. And then I'm going to come back through with the crescent yellow and use it to blend and lighten up a couple of areas. So, all right, so we've only got a few minutes longer, so I'm going to zoom out. We're going to do the embellishments on his coat, and then we're going to call it a day. We did get a picture and a half done. So basically one whole picture because we got half a picture on one page and half a picture on the other page. So I call that a whole picture. Go ahead, argue. Hi, Sue. I am so sorry you've had that busy day at work. So we're using the glitter gel pen. So this is glitter yellow. These are the 10-mint gel pens. And I'm going over the whole area. And then we're going to go over it with a darker color as well to get those shadows in there. And then we're going to use glitter champagne. And we're going to blend that in. Alright. I guess I should zoom you in just a little bit so you can actually see what I'm doing. And again with the glitter yellow. And after it's dry, I'll come in with a little bit of white and put the reflection on it. Hello, Dawn. Okay. And then same with this part here. Just going to put a little bit of embellishment on there. Alright, now I'm going to drag him out so that we can see what we've got so far. So there's the mess so far. And my Ohuhu chart does not want to stay up. It just wants to fall, so we're just going to leave it there. So there we have him so far. We will continue him tomorrow and do the background. Another one that we did get completed today is this one here. She is all done now as well. So those two are done. Thank you, Nana. All right, so we will finish up his background here. Tomorrow we'll finish off his scarf and everything else, and then he will be all done tomorrow, hopefully. It seems my internet is not having any issues, which is fantastic. I do, however, have to clean up my desk because I have pens everywhere. All right, guys, thank you all very much for coming and hanging out with me and getting these colorings done. I know it's a little bit early, but I really don't want to start on too much more. Otherwise, I'm going to end up, running out of time, and I will be feeling bad on it. All right, guys, always remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artist that you enjoy. Of course, always remember to relax, color, and stay safe, everyone. I will see you all again tomorrow afternoon. Please do come and hang out with me. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. I'll see you again on Saturday. You all have a wonderful rest of your day and a fantastic weekend. Until next time, bye-bye for now.